So 10-13 finished 2R, one break even and one win. The idea was based solely around today these huge 452 lows and if these were gonna get swept or not. Pre-market we had spiked them, and then these levels 394 and then this weekly volume imbalance were the higher time frame levels sitting below that. If we still wanted to sweep this and push lower, these levels could hold us up to try to regain. Pre-market we had already tried to hold these lows once, twice. Both of those attempts to hold were just rejecting off this old interior high or low. So as soon as we lost those levels and broke this wick, I was convinced that this thing was gonna fall. This was too aggressive in my opinion to try to take that straight up. But yeah, as soon as we're falling under here, I'm bearish for continuations underneath these levels if we're dying underneath them. But if these levels start holding, I want to potentially play 452 as a sweep. Now, once we fell all the way down, missed this 269 low, and started regaining this weekly, I wanted to say, okay, if these two levels, 394 and this weekly level, can get in line with each other and hold above this internal high, then I want to potentially play the longs around this area to get the early sweep of 452 because the two levels below are holding and we're not selling off of this internal high, which we shouldn't sell off if we're going to actually get a liquidity sweep here. So once we held this level, we pushed up. I was watching this internal high, this fair value gap that was holding here, and that level. We basically tried to sell off immediately the high. We just bought up this fair value gap. Pushed up, we get inversion on the level. Um, we get inversion on the wick, or sorry, on the fair value gap. We still hold the level. We hold the wick, push up, close the level. I wanted to wait for this level to hold too. We hold the level here. After that, I just took a straight up retest here. This level trying to play this thing pushing up. My stop underneath the inversion. I barely got missed. I almost got stopped out, and now I got break even. This thing ended up stalling, not wanting to push. From there, I was kind of like a little confused. I thought that this was actually going to give me a decent run, but it turns out we just wanted to run an interior liquidity and then try it again. So we just ran this low, missed the level, and then we got up and started holding again. So my idea is still for 452 to be a sweep if these levels are going to get in line and the internal highs are not going to sell off. That's literally the same idea up here, just shifting. Now we have this wick that's holding this move down. Really, we have this internal high. We get this internal sweep. These levels are going to get in line. If they do, I'm going to play it. We get back above this weekly level, hold it, expand, break this encapsulating wick, start pushing up. I'm not involved yet. I want to see this high hold up. We start stalling off of this wick, but then we start holding off this internal high. So now we have this level holding, this level holding. Now we even have this internal sweep. And now we're pushing up to potentially regain 452, and we're holding back above this last internal high. The last thing I'm waiting for is for us to break this wick because this is the thing that was sending us back to retest. So if we hold this retest and break that, that's what I'm trying to play. Next candle explodes up, closes back over 452. I took the retest of that wick, stop underneath here, and played a 452 as a sweep. And I got shut out under that highest candle's low. I pushed 4R and I got 2.2R. Then from there, 452, the sweep, this potential sweep of 452 failed to even push this internal high and start off this wick. So I was saying, at what point do I want to get bearish on 452 failing? Well, it's kind of sus that we missed anything here, but we're starting to hold under 452. If we're gonna hold under 452 and off this failure to push anything and then fail to buy this internal low and lose the level that was underneath, I'm trying to short that thing. So we started doing everything. We started holding 452. We started failing to buy this internal level or this internal low, which we shouldn't buy. This is a bigger scale failed liquidity or bigger scale liquidity sweep right here, or failed liquidity sweep. But what I was seeing was we're still holding this level underneath. So I wanted to see what this whole level holding underneath was doing. all it was doing was setting us up to reject us off this internal low. So I wanted to potentially short once we started breaking these things, and I was watching this wick that was holding. All this level holding was pushing up to reject this. We finally broke the wick barely on its close in the level, but I just didn't like that at the time, the retest of this, because we spiked this low. I thought it wasn't really enough confirmation to short this thing yet. I wanted to see us continue holding because this could just be an internal sweep. Then right here is where I actually put a limit on. We pushed up, fully filled this wick, and held this level. I still wanted to get actually in this short, and I put a limit at the midpoint of this bigger wick here to short this thing. We're holding everything. This internal low is failing, 452 is failing. Now this level's failing with my stop back above this wick that we already fully filled. I had a limit here, but it kind of pushed a little. And at this point, I took the limit off. I just thought I was kind of trying to force the position at that point. Although in my mind, I also knew everything was holding. Like this low was not getting bought up. This level tried to hold it, just sent us to try to buy that. Now we lost that level. We lost the wick. We're holding the wick, holding the inversion. Like this idea kind of had everything. The fact that we were just stalling made me like kind of tweak out a little, and I took my limit off at the midpoint of that wick. And the thing just ended up grinding down, and it would have been a good position, like five or something more into that next target of that low. And then yeah, from here, I was like losing focus a little. There's already been a good amount of opportunities, especially with these shorts. And I kind of was just waiting to see what we did at 269. I was potentially going to play this thing, whatever we do at 269, but it's just been real choppy around those ideas. And so I'm just calling it. Had plenty of opportunities, or like if I would have been able to capitalize on this, I most definitely would have been done. So I'm not going to force trying to play this range of potential chop because this thing was already expansive. We might get just choppy for a while, just because I missed this trade right here. But I think the long idea was good. It had a lot of confirmation here to play 452 gaining. It had a We had potential to actually catch a big run if this thing actually did want to be a sweep in this run and try to push up and start regaining stuff here. There was potential to catch a big play. Still got 2R. This trade, a little bit unorthodox entry by trying to take this wick, not this actual wick, but this one had a lot of confirmation. Um, just the stalling off kind of threw me off, but it would have played. So I'm still happy with the day 2R.